there is actually two types of these scripting languages that is normally used when working with HTML or CSS. And that is, we have the JavaScript itself, which you call the DOM. That one has been used almost every time, and that is even what is used in React. That's how React actually works. It uses the DOM. It calls the DOM directly, and then it uses it. But there is also jQuery. jQuery, like J and query. jQuery is kind of a bit complex. A bit complex. Sometimes me myself, I get lost in jQuery. I won't lie to you. Because jQuery doesn't actually call the DOM like you know, but it directly calls classes, objects, and tags. So in order for you to, you see, when we are using JavaScript, for instance, this one is very easy to understand, this level. When we are using JavaScript, we already did the DOM. Let me start sharing screen. We already did the DOM, where today they have opened too many interfaces. Yeah. When we are calling the DOM, with this one, what we know is that we simply go by let number one equals document dot. So this is how JavaScript, and even when you go to React, like I was saying, that's how React targets HTML files. But all these things, when you go to React, they're actually behind the scenes. You actually build them behind the scenes. But when you are using jQuery, jQuery will always have to target the file. So when we open this one like this, jQuery will have to start by probably targeting game. Game is a class. So it will probably target the entire body of the class. So if this were to be jQuery, we are not doing jQuery. If this were to be jQuery, it will have to start by targeting that class actually. So probably when we build a function, another function like AQ, let me use AQ rather. When we build a function like this and we start with the query, we actually have to start with something like this, then open it up. I tell you personally, I do get lost most of the time, so I try to stick with my JavaScript. It's not new. jQuery is not new, but JavaScript is older than jQuery. People say they find it easier using jQuery. So with this one, we have to come to this is what we were working with, right? Is it? I think it's this one. We have to come and find game. So probably we come in here and then we find game. Then you have to go and target after finding the game like this. You will have to come in here and then target something, a tag. So you find game, then you come to probably target this class, game head. Then just like you are doing CSS, you come to target game head like this. So probably sorry. So you come here, then you do something like this, giving me inner HTML, but we are not looking for inner HTML. We are actually looking for a class called game head. So this is like, oh sorry, here you don't start with this, you start with body. Yeah, start with body. So this is like game head. It will run faster. Well, I don't see the speed between this one and the main JavaScript. But you can look into them. Personally, I don't use jQuery. I stick with my JavaScript and play it safe. Yeah. So today we are our old game. I think it's appropriate to use our old game or probably the assignment we were working on. Probably to use it to do something, but I don't think all of us did the assignment. So let's use our old game, which I know almost everybody. Probably let's start something new, which I know you. So we are going to work with arrays actually. The last time I said I wanted us to use these things along the line when we are building our HTML, then we put it inside so that we can see it in practice actually. So what are arrays? Anybody to give us any fair idea of what they know about arrays? Yeah, anyone? I'm waiting. Yeah, Lacris, you there? You know you are the first person I'll call.
Yeah. Hello.
So any
Yeah.
yeah, we are listening. Any idea? Like give us what you know about arrays. Like array. When you hear the word array, what comes to your mind?
Hey. Teacher, what from as an A piece of question?
Oh, maybe it's a question that I will
The man.
answer.
Okay.
Oh, I was saying everybody will be telling us what they know about
Okay.
arrays. Yeah, that's what I said.
What I know is that arrays is a way of keeping records or keeping multiple items. Yeah. Maybe that's what I can say.
Okay.
It's a way that we keep
All right.
multiple
So a way
items so
of
that
keeping.
we can fetch them at any time that we want to fetch them.
Okay. Um. Who am I calling? Yeah, Eric. Eric, your thoughts on arrays probably. What comes to mind when you hear array?
Yeah, I don't have any idea about. Sorry, but
Okay. All right. Uh,
just learning. So
okay. So the richest man in the whole of the northern area in Ghana. Ghani.
uh, how do you spell it? Is it Iris or
Yeah,
I
array.
R I S?
A double R A Y. Array.
Oh, Iris. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm, I let me put it. It's more like an object.
More like an object. Good.
Yeah, that.
Yes. I'm very glad you have said something like this. I'll give you a follow-up question.
Mm-hmm. More like an object that performs a function. Let me put that.
Okay. So more like an object that performs a function.
I
Uh,
think I just saw something on Google.
oh, for this one,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
want us to go to Google.
But
Nah.
it's a very simple definition. I didn't know about it, man.
Okay.
It says it's used to store multiple values in a single variable.
Very good. Array.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's very self-explanatory.
Yeah. I think the best definition I can give beyond Google is that an array is a list of items.
Oh yeah, okay.
Straightforward. An array is a list of items. So whenever you hear array, um, whether in JavaScript anywhere, but Gani, the question, the answer you gave is that an array is like an object, right?
Yeah.
But do you think an array is an object? Is an object a list of items?
So, Yeah, it's a list of items that have how do I say?
Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Hmm. Yeah, I'm listening. Oh.
Mm, let me see.
Today, like I said, we won't stay long. When we are done with Ari, we will take
Yeah,
our time. I don't want to bring Ari methods and then sorting Ari and iteration and all that at once. No, we'll take it gradually. Charlie. We are not going anywhere. We are here. So let's take it gradually and understand. Because this is programming. So this is back end. Okay, so Bukani, you see, objects actually use keywords inside the uh, their list. The object uses keywords inside its list. It's also like
yeah,
a list. But that one you can only access using keywords. So probably if you have an object and then you are creating say an object of a person. So it's like an
yeah,
object which is a person. You can't just go straight forward and be writing the names, the name and stuff of the in there. No, no, no. You have to actually use keywords to identify. So probably name. Then the name, you provide the name. This,
yeah,
then you provide that, this, then you provide that. Yeah. So that is how an object works. But today we are talking about arrays. So what is an array actually? So just like Eric brought us the definition. An array is like it's just a collection of items, a list. Simple. An array is a list, no matter how you look at it. What is it? So I've opened. What about? Okay. So an array is simply a list. So now let's talk about let's do this here. Let me do it. Array. Oh, Miss Lacrace, are you recording? Hello, Lacrace.
Yeah,
Are you recording, please?
yeah,
Okay, okay, thanks. So let's talk about an array. So an array is simply a collection of items, but unlike an object, which actually uses keywords, an array is just a straightforward collection of items. Every time you want to declare an array as a variable, so it's just like a variable, like we did for the object, and then the collection is in there. Anytime you want to declare a list of a variable as an array, you always have to begin with const. It doesn't use let. Not that it doesn't use, it uses, but an array is something you don't have to change. You must make sure whilst you are working with an array, it never changes. It never ever changes. So let's do something like const student, something like that. Const students. Then this is how you open up an array. An array doesn't use curly braces. It only uses square brackets like this. An array uses square brackets like this. So when you have an array like this, and probably I want to put in, let's just start with numbers. So something like this. Let me just 7. It says to 14. So you let me just it's just doubling it for me. So this is an array of nouns. Excuse me. Okay. So this is an array of numbers. Arrays are not very difficult to actually get. Yeah, they are not very difficult to get. So how do we play around it? Probably do something with it. So let's look at how we can access them. This is not the only type of array you can create. So we can have an array of students, and then we say that this is also an array. What we are seeing here is an array, but it's an empty array. It's an empty array, nothing. And as you already know, array starts from, items starts from index 0. All indexes start from 0. So here we can have list of students, and it can take any data type. So let's just say we have army, then we have say, and then probably then we can also, it can also take a mixture of items. An array can take a mixture of items. So probably we have const one man. Then inside one man, we are going to have probably something like James. Then after James, you can have 2. Then after 2, you can have, say, 1956. Probably 45. Let me just type in or 68. And we can say 1956. Then yeah, we can even bring an object in there, but I don't want us to make things too complex for ourselves. This is simply an array. Now, how do we access an array? You always access an array using indexes. You always access an array using indexes. So this is an index. This is at index 0. This is at index 0, index 0, 0. So index 0, 1, 2, and 3. So when we do something like this, I think if here there we have to use a terminal. Yeah, you have to use a terminal. Let's see, high school. Yeah, we are talking about high schools. Let me see. So we have node array. Array.ps. What's it? So let's just do something like let's just try to access this how do we call it? Okay. Let's try to access something like students. Let's play around it actually. So let's play around it. Let's just log out students. Now, and let's access it. When you want to access it, you use the same square bracket to actually do the accessing. So here you close it, and that's that. Let's run this and see. We have Kweku. Now, when we access students and then we do 4, I'm just doing that, and let's see what happens here. It says undefined because the list of items here are just they are when we are counting by index, they are actually 3. They are not 4. But in human readable form, you see that they are 4 items. But when you are programming, you know that indexes don't start from 1. They start from 0. In order for us to access probably the last item, we can just do 3. Then when we run this, we are going to get the Abna here. Good. In the same way, we can do for the rest. So I won't even look at for the rest. What I'll actually look at is playing around something like, say, this particular student. So we can have student. Now, this is what I didn't want us to enter too much, but I think this explanation, the above explanation about arrays, is very clear to all of us. So there is no need to actually worry too much about how arrays are written, what they are, and how to like excuse me, how to like how to assess them, assessing and writing them and assessing them. So right now we are going to look at certain things we can do with arrays. One thing about this, how do we call it, intelligence inside most of almost every editor is that, it's actually helps with a whole lot of things, can actually just help you get around what to do with it. Probably you can have a nice idea of what are the various extensions that are inside probably a class, an object, or a variable. So the very moment we declared this as an array, JavaScript now understands that we are working with an array. If I should do something like const teacher, const teacher, which I want to probably make as treat as a very simple item. So const teacher probably equals nothing, like this. Sorry, equals nothing. And if I come here and I write teacher dot, you see that it's not probably giving me the same extensions, the same objects inside of it, like this. This is just a string. It's treating it as a string. Then when I come to dots here, it's actually giving me some different set of objects inside. Now this is a variable, and it will probably convert itself into an array. So it's giving me some list of objects that I can work with. So let's do something like this. Let's start with looking at push. Let's start looking at push, and then should we do that before we print it out? I think that should be more safer. Yeah, I think that will be more safer. So let's do this. Let's now cut this out, and then let's print this, or let's print everything in there. Let's print everything in there. So students dot push teacher, and let's see. So we have Kweku, Kwame, Ama, Abena. The student dot push teacher didn't work for us, but it gave us another empty space. Yeah, it worked. It worked actually. Sorry. Student dot push teacher. There's nothing here actually. There's nothing in this teacher. So let's just say the teacher is Eric. So when we push this, we are going to get Kweku, Kwame, Ama, Abena. So this is just to tell you that probably when you are working with arrays and you want to add something, in there, you just use push. There was one thing I wanted to add here, which is students cannot join anything. The join is also very straightforward. Student.length, so that we will see the length of the array. So the length is like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can somebody tell me something? Why are you getting 5 and not probably 4? Somebody should tell me something. Why are we getting 5 and not 4. Like,
It's because the because you added teacher, it's now 5.
very
Yeah,
good.
it's now 5.
But you understand that we can't even access the 5th item using 5, using the figure 5.
Yes. For
Is
well,
that?
it's
Mhm.
count the individual. Well, when you use the length, it's count them from 1, not from the index 0.
Okay, very good. Beautiful. Beautiful. So when we are using the length, like when we are counting length, when we are counting and we are using length to actually count, it won't start from index. It will count the items we have in there. But when we are assessing, it will start from the index. That is how these things they work. You'll have that in mind. Very good. So we have had push. Let's try another. Even my 1 hour 30 minutes. I think we may do just 1 hour. I don't feel fine. As I cough, like I feel some pain in my chest. And when I talk more, that is when I actually cough too. So we have looked at join. Sorry, push. Uh, Let me do some. Where is it? Students. Now let's do students. We are not doing push again. We are now going to look at students for each. That one we will print. You can print something out. Let's look at concat. Yeah, let's look at concat. But I would have loved that we have probably 2 items like that. So students concat on man. Yeah. So we have on man here. So when we are concocting students with on man, let's see what happens here. So this is where we have two. Oh, this is where we have 2 items. But the 2 items, it didn't try to give me what I really wanted to see. So student, because on man is, let me try doing something here. Student on man is, let's see. Who has theirs working? This should work. Students.concact, like we are joining the 2. We're joining the 2. We're joining the 2. Oh, students.join. Join. Yeah, that is that. Student.join. Wait, let me first try with just 1 item and see. Then student.join. Then you should have, we are getting me stuck here. Something like this. Student.join Peter. This is how it should work. Is somebody seeing what I'm not seeing?
Well, maybe if you assign it to a variable, then you log the variable. Let's see.
I assign what to a variable.
The student dot join, maybe
Okay. You want, yeah, then we log out the variable and see. All right. So let's SS go like that. Then let's log out the SS. about this. Okay. All right, let's see. What am I seeing here? Eric, Kweku, Eric. Look, I don't, yeah. I think you gave us a nice idea, and so it is doing Kweku, Eric, Kwame, Eric, Ama, Eric, and Abena. It's like this adding Eric, Eric, Eric. Okay, that's not so. That is where on man. Let me run this. Kweku James 69, 59. Let me rather go this way. So let me see students. For each student, and let's mark it and see for each student. Students, so for each student, let's do something like console. Console log student. Yes. Okay, let me run this. It didn't give me what I also want here. JavaScript, the can play trick on user, like back end programming. Can play trick on user. I want to look at all the things we can do. This let me look at the reverse. Let me look at reverse again. Reverse to let's see. Let's take all these things up. Console the flow. And just this one just does. This one if the reverse works. Students, but I think the push you do push rate. Then the slice is there. It's for slice. I don't want to do slice. 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 Okay, we are doing reverse. We are slicing. We are slicing. Okay. Let me do something here. Somebody should look up this for me. The slice and the reverse. Sorry, the slice actually. Slice works with brackets like this. You know why it's not picking up from, but slice should just slice this thing. Pardon?
It takes 2 numbers.
Takes 2. Okay, from the start to the finish.
Yes.
All right. Thanks. Thanks. You see what it is doing to us. Let me start from 0. Let me end at 1. Funny how.
Oh, you are logging out students.
Yeah, I'm logging out students.
You should log out the slide.
Oh, all along I've been doing this here, but still this thing should be able. To, okay. Let's do this. Let's assign variables here so that the variable can actually. I think good. So if this one is that way, then let's probably do another one. And let's look at sorry, students dot what was I doing previous? Students dot join. We did join. Student dot join SS. So we are printing
I
SS.
thought you were doing concat.
Concat. Yeah. So I think we have it. We have it, but we were doing concat, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's use concat here. I think we even have the join. We have the join, but I am not understanding why. Yes, this one works for us. The concat is now working here. Yeah, so I think, okay, so we have to pass it to a variable, probably then. The concat here is working for us. But what was not working? Join. Okay, join is actually joining them. Concat
I think
is
you wanted to concat the woman with student then.
okay. Yeah,
On man.
like this. Yeah, on man. Yeah, that's what we wanted to do previously. Okay, so let's see this. Excuse me. Yeah, I think it's working now. We have so we have concat. So I think the safest way is to pass it to a variable. But this thing, so the safest way is to pass it to a variable, like Ghanaian suggested earlier. So we have students.concat, then on man. So probably if you have two lists that you want to join, the best way is to use concat instead of using probably join, because join will try to like. So if we are joining, can we say we can put in two arrays? We can probably pass another array to it. We can add something to it. Concatenations actually take more than an item. More than an item. Let's just intentionally add an item. An item like something like that. Let's intentionally add it and then see what it does. So when we add this, okay, so when we add this, it's not going to be, see, since we are concocting, it's not going to separate itself from the last item. It's actually concatenated into one item. But look at this critically. It seems we have all these becoming one item. And then the first one being on its own. We're actually joining the entire thing. What if we try to access just one item out of on man, say probably zero. So we should have James being sorry, we should have James being added to our list. We previously used push. Push. So let me go by like Chris's advice and tell it, let's put everything inside the console so that You don't have to be writing too much variables like this. So you still have the same answer. So let's copy and paste this. And then let's now, we did push previously. So we are just, today we are playing around the array. But please, arrays there, you don't have to try your hands on this. When you are free, try your hands on it. There are so many things you can do with an array. So let's just say you want to remove an item. The previous one was push. And when we pushed, we actually pushed an item in here, like say, so students.push, then we pushed in probably Amina in here like this. Then we have, oh yeah, what is it? Why is it displaying a 5? Where from the 5? Students.push. Oh, I'm not displaying students anymore. But this thing shouldn't be this way. Like, I shouldn't be seeing 5 here. How am I seeing 5? Students.push Amina. Okay, so I'm not displaying students. I'm just pushing it. Okay, no problem. So that means this is not even necessary. Right? Probably it's not necessary. So if you want to pop, if you want to remove an item, you can actually use the pop. Pop. No, it's Amina in there. Amina is not in there, so there's no way it's going to pop Amina. Pop students. So let's pop it here and see. So I don't think this thing too will, yeah, it's one of the ones. So we popped out quickly. You can also actually pop out using the index. So you can pop, instead of writing the exact thing in there, like Kweku, Kwame, Ama. So probably if I use Ama in here, it's going to pop Ama out. Then it's going to, what's it? We have Abena. Let's leave this thing. So we are going to use index rather. I don't even know. I didn't tell why. Let's use the index. So we are going to have students and then the index, say index 2. So when we pop out index 2, what is index 2 in here? 0, 1, 2. Index 2 should be AMA. Also over life. So that means we still have to come back and answer them. Okay, let me. It's today. Yeah.
From the one I read on, they said the pop
Mm-hmm.
is the pop doesn't take any I think doesn't take any value. It just pops out the first item.
When you do pop, yes, it just pops out the first item. I have
And then
I've read about pop using an index to pop.
okay.
Yeah, several occasions. So let me. You said you were adding something.
Oh, that was all. Like I was talking about the pop and the push. The push adds to the last item, and then pop takes the first item out.
Yeah, there is actually an object that will make you access that we are not reducing. That I've used pop, not I have used. I have read about pop being used to actually pop out a particular item. Let's play around this. Because you still have to pop this. You still have to pop a particular index. If it doesn't work, then probably I'll have to find out. I'll have to go back and search for where I saw pop being used to actually remove an item at an index. Yeah. So students. So pop like this, right? Then probably nothing to add. This concept is actually FIFO-LIFO. Now, Chris, let's look at something. Okay, let's look at something. Good. Now, Chris.
Yeah.
Did you see what was happening right now? Look at, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Look at students.pop, and I used students pop too. Let me just even remove this from here. Yeah, this one gives me 2. This one remove the first one, right? It removed the first one. Okay, so what is happening is that I used pop twice. Yeah, I think that was how it was done. Yeah, I used pop twice to actually remove the item at that particular index. Okay. So like this, I think that is actually what happened. So popped out twice. All right. Now pop and push. Let's compare them to. Let's try to understand how pop and push are used in when we are doing stacking. When we are doing sorting, actually, we have something we call stack. We have something we call stack, and I believe most of us have heard about FIFO-LIFO. FIFO-LIFO. So first in, first out. Then we have LIFO, FIFO-LIFO, first in, last out. This is used in sorting a lot. When you go to stacks, I think there is a whole programming concept around stacking, where you learn about. We call that bubbling. You actually do bubbling, where you actually can put an item. When you are putting an item in there, it's push, and you are bringing it out. You are actually popping out. JavaScript, same concept. Let's play around another thing. Let's use the norms up there. So let's just say I want to initially, when you want to remove these items, I think let's use length to remove these items, and then see. Let's use length to assess these items and then see, instead of just assessing them using index, a particular index. So let's do now. And let's just see let's do console first. Let me put everything away from here. Let's do console here first. So let's do console dot console.
Students na over no already.
Bisambio, I have you. So let's do this and see. Now we are going to log out nuts. Length. There was one time I used something like this inside PHP. You might find. I was accessing items from the database, but I was bringing these items to JavaScript, and instead of just removing it, like every item, the last person must be displayed. It's just like doing sorting inside, how do we call it? Excel or any other, yeah. I love doing sorting inside Excel before I display most of my softwares. Behind the scenes, that one here, nobody can see anything. So, norms.length. We know that norms.length is this, right? Good, 14. We have 14 items. Great. So we want to display something. We can play around this mathematically, like say norms.length minus say 3. And then it will give us the 11 and all that. What if you want to display a particular item at that position? At that position. I want somebody to think of something, give it to me, and then you will display. I want to display an item at, say, position 11, not using index, but using the length. Anyone?
Yeah, that would be
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nums, then open
Mm-hmm.
brackets. So you
Mm-hmm.
open and close brackets around the nums dot length minus
Is it which bracket?
square brackets.
Very good.
Then you put the nums dot length minus.
Very good. Very good. Eric, does this sound clear to you? Does this look clear to you? I don't want to run it, but does it look clear to you? Hello, Eric, are you there? What time is it? Okay, let's try to, yeah. Okay, I don't want you to follow. I want you to understand it. Let's understand this. Ganu, is it clear? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now, this is it. We have console.log. What we're actually doing here is that under normal circumstances, we should have just done nums and then probably say 11. Under normal circumstances, this is what we should have done. Nums and then 11. But what if you don't even know the length? You don't know the length of the whole thing. This one, we know that the whole length is 14. Let's do something here. We know the entire length of this is 14. But you and I know that if we should do nums 14, let me copy and paste this. If we do nums 14 like this, we will probably run it. We will definitely run into an error. Not probably run into an error. To tell us undefined. That means that most definitely the 14 here, we may have to reduce it by 1 or something. Now, what if that number that is coming keeps changing? What if the number that is coming, it keeps changing? So probably the array will always be new. The length of the array may be changing all the time. So if you don't want to write a code that contains bugs in such a way that when the index changes, it doesn't make sense anymore than to go inside your code. And can you be changing it? Let's say it is on a website or a web application, and when you pick a particular class, definitely in that particular class, the number of students will be different. Each class, the number of students will be different. So what if a class coming in has a larger number or a smaller number? That means your code contains bugs when you use direct numbers this way. The best thing you can do at this point is to actually use the length of that particular array and then reduce it by 1 to get the last person in the class. Please, am I clear here?
Yes.
Good. So what we have to do is to pick the length rather. So instead of saying 14, so how do we even get the length? We know that we can get the length of an array by simply writing. So we are using nums. So it's by simply writing dot length. dot length. So once we write this, you and I know that, oh, this will give us the length of the object. Oh, sorry, I said object, of the array. So why don't we simply remove the entire thing here? And then instead of writing 14, we come to replace it here. Right now, we know that, oh, we have norms dot length. But when we do this, because it is actually looking for an index, when we do norms dot length, we are definitely going to have undefined, because the length of this array, the total length is not part of the index. So we have 14 here. Let me remove this. We have 14 here. We have 14 here, and 14, the items are 14 when you count them. But by index, they are 13, because to start from 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So in that order. That means that we definitely have to reduce this by 1, minus 1, like this. Actually get the results we are looking for, which is the last item here, which is 14. Please, is it clear now? Very good. So this is the best way to actually use the length of an array. You don't write the exact length there, because probably, like I said, this is for a school. Each teacher will assess the system, and when they assess different class and all that. Okay. So what can we do with this? What can we do with this? There are so many things we can do with this. We can probably say that, oh, okay, let's do 5, and let's change this. Let me add more here, and then change this. Let me add more here. Okay, it's okay. Let's use this. So we have length. Let's use students so that we can get something usable. So let's use students dot length minus probably 3. And let's run this. We are going to get AMA. We're going to get AMA, which is 0, 1, 0, 1, 2. So we have the whole length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we are removing 3, which is when we remove 3 from, we are going to get 4. 4. So that is, we are looking at 8, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. We are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are, when we remove 3 from 7, we are getting 4. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2. Oh, what am I doing? Somebody should explain this to me. I'm trying to confuse myself. I think I'm doing too much here. Sorry. All these things, they are affecting the thing, because it shouldn't display AMA. All the top stuff there, they were affecting it. So yeah, we have Nana. So we have 7. So when we have 4, we are going to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So that is the correct thing. Yeah. Up to this point there, I quite believe everybody is clear with it. So what if I want to get the first? Somebody should work this thing out and then let us know. What if I want to access the first item, but not using the index? I want to actually use the length, this strategy, to access the first or the last, no, the first student actually. I want to access the first student. Somebody should tell us something. I think our time is almost up. Yeah, for today, our time is almost up. I want to like watch down quickly. Oh, anyone coming through?
Yeah. Won't it be length minus length?
Length minus length.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. So length minus length is going to give us 0. So we are going to do this like this. And when we run this, good, beautiful. Eric, is it clear? Is this one clear? Very good. So this, I think with length, what we can do with length there. Okay, let us know. Let us know what you were thinking. Then we try it out. Programming there. As one of my mentors will say, if the code works, don't touch it. If the code works, don't touch it. Index 0. Yes, we can do that. Yeah, that is actually under normal circumstances. Let me see if this is what you are talking about. Like console.log students, and we do 0. Is this what you are talking about? Is this what we are talking about? Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry, I was thinking about just repeating the console.log, the student with the square bracket student.length. But I was thinking that we bring the index figure like 0 after the line, just to get the first student. Cool. That's what I was thinking. I don't know if it is right. I was trying to try it over.
Also.log student then dot length. You mean
Yeah, repeating the student again and just dot length and then bringing the 0 after the length. That's what I was thinking. Just
so with here the you mean with here the students will come again?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So okay, so we will open the curly brackets like the so the square brackets like this. No, we have to try it out. So many things can work. So students, do you mean it this way? Hello, Eric. I think the yeah. Hello. Okay. But with this, I am not sure of how it's going to work. But let me see. Run this. Yeah, you ran into an error. But it seems like you are calling length on length. You are calling length on length. Also, that this one correctly. Okay, I think Eric has some little issue. Excuse me. Oh, students, students, students. Yeah, let's see. Okay. So I think it works. It works, but it is undefined. It's undefined because we are looking at the length of 40. I don't know how this one is functioning inside of this. Yeah, is Eric back? He's not. Okay. Anyone with any question up to this point? Chris, any question up to this point?
I'm okay.
Tomorrow, I want us to look at mapping. I think that's the last thing we probably do. But we look at all the other areas of this thing too, like yeah, some more. Okay. So tomorrow we will look at the mapping, probably look at the methods we can create inside arrays. Then we probably look at sorting iteration. But please, but sort is very simple. Sort, like sort grandpa there, we won't even touch it because you can actually do the sorting without too much stress. You can do the sorting without too much stress. Yeah. I don't actually get why the for each didn't want to display my A, but you can probably try something. You can try out something with for each. Let me see. Okay. Let's do nums sort. Let's sort nums and see. Let's sort nums and see. So yeah, it is already sorted. Somebody just, I think Eric sent me a message. Let me check. I'm very sure. It's the numbers are already sorted. So okay. Yeah, I think the numbers are already sorted. Where are we? The numbers are already sorted. So let's try fixing in here some numbers and try sorting out. and let's run it. It is not sorting. Nums console.log nums.
I think
The
sorting is it doesn't consider the numbers as like numbers in a way, like 10. It doesn't see it as 10 and sort it. It sort it like strings in a way.
really.
Yes, because you see that what it has sorted there, one, the numbers beginning with one are
Once and the numbers beginnings. Okay. Do you know I haven't checked that? I'm actually looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't even checked that too. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that's how I wanted to see it. Yeah. Do you know that sorting, there's sort in C#, but it doesn't also work like you want it to sort. Like probably you want it to sort when you have numbers like this, you want to sort 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. C#, the same thing. It won't mind you. Yeah. I haven't used it sort in any other languages, but VB, C#, they don't work. Even PHP doesn't sort things. Basa, basa, basa. Yeah, so if JavaScript is not also doing it, no problem. So yeah, Okra will draw my attention. So it's a sorting one. So Eric mistakenly switched off his machine. I believe something has happened to all of us before. You'll be working on it. You want to like press maybe the escape key or something. By the time you realize you have pressed the power button, and you press the power button, then you become angry and you go and sleep, bruh. So the sort is I think like Chris is right. It's actually sorting it as a string and not as a number. Sorting it as a string and not as a number. How is this so? Okay, no problem. Yeah, so let's do something. Something just crossed my mind. Let's do that thing for the last show and then go. Okay, I want to create a small function here. To create a small function and give it a name like display. Let me get the parameters here. Display, and then display. What do I want to do? I want to do console.log. For now, for starters, let me just the new is missing. Let me just do for starters. Let me just do this. Now I want to do something like this. Hey, where did you go? I want to do something like Obi Mama Adrian on what I want to do. So what I want to do is I want to call students. Okay. But for which no. I think this thing is trying to confuse me. It's trying to confuse me. Let me start my own for each. For each, then let me just do this bit. Very good. This is what I wanted to do initially, and the IntelliSense was trying to play around my mind. Yeah, but that means we can simply put this this here without necessarily having. Okay, it's not. Oh, so it's not doing it for us. Yeah, we probably have to use the function. Hey, what did I do? Pacho, did I commit any sin? Yeah. Daniel and Eric, welcome back.
Sorry, guys, I mistakenly switched off my computer.
Charlie. Yeah, it does happen to all of us.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, at times you want to press the escape key. By the time you realize you are pressing the button.
No, I take a step on this switch.
Okay.
So it just went off.
Okay.
I am saying we Jimmy, but yeah, man.
Okay. So we are trying to do for each, and we are trying to actually make it work directly. So it has to work compulsory by force, but it's not working like when we bring it inside. So probably we still have to stick with the function. So that and the function. Okay. I was saying I still believe this thing should work. I still think it wasn't saved. And who thinks otherwise? Is somebody trying it at his end?
I don't know what is going on.
Oh, you don't know what is going on?
Yeah.
Sorry. What? We are and delete everything. Actually, there is another function inside another object inside of arrays. That is an array extension, a dot extension that actually is for each. So that one helps you to pick each item inside the array and then do something with it. Let's use num, like num. Let's use the nums up there. And then let's just say for each of them, we want to add 5 to it and then probably display it. Sure. So for each of it, we want to add 5. But for starters, we just want to display as it goes through. We just want to display the length that is in there. So in order for you to do that, you actually need. I wanted us to do it straight away, but it seems the straight away won't help us. So I was thinking, why don't I use a function? So if you are using a function, because like you are using for each, and for each, all the for loops, like we learned previously, you can put functions inside your for loop to do certain things for you whilst it is looping. So instead of just having it straight away, we want to have a function. And for each function, you just say probably add to num, something like that. Add to num, then we create this function. Now, what we want to do inside this function is that we want to just console out. We want to just log out the total number of num.length. We just want to do num.length like this. That's something straight away. We don't want to do anything. So how do we do this? You know this, when we run, nothing is going to happen because the function is there. You are not, you and I know that the function is there. Nothing is happening to the function. We are not using the function anymore. So in order for us to use the function, we can do nums.forEach. So for each, we want it to just do add to num. Add to num like this. So that's the only thing we want it to do. We want it to just display the length of num. Like each time you run, you should display the length of num. So if you check my screen, okay. If you check my screen, the number of the length is just displaying the length, and the length is 19. It's displaying it 19 times. Just that. That's for now. That's the only thing. And our length no prayer what. Let's take some part of the length out. Let's take some part out like this. Let's clean it up. Excuse me. So let's take some small part out so that it be simple and we can work with it. And what. Then so let's do this. Okay, so we have 7. So the length is actually 7. The length of the. Now what we want to do right now is so right now you know what is happening. So what we want to do is to now do some magic with it. Let's just say we want to pass a parameter in here, right? We want to pass a parameter in here. So we will simply say it's probably value. So I think our time is up. Value. Then what we want to do with the value is to do probably value equals value plus 2. Something like that. Value equals value plus 2. So you know JavaScript is open. JavaScript is not like, it's not declarative where you have to tell it that this is an int, this or what, this or what. Yeah, it's the variables, they are dynamic. So that means that when we come here, we have to pass a value to it. And the value we can pass here is probably nums, and then we do the index of my phone. Okay. So no. I think we don't have to do. Let's start and run into an error first and see the error. Right. Oh, we are displaying nums.length. We don't want to display value. So we just want to good. So that is it. I think we didn't even need to pass anything. Straightforward. So what we did here was that for each of these numbers in here, we added 2. Now it's very simple. This one, we know for each function, if a function needs a value, it should be passed to it. Now what is actually happening here is that for each of this, it's picking number 1. Then number 1 for each. Now, as soon as we pick for each, that means that the value of whatever we have picked now becomes the sort of the index in here. So whatever you do with it using a function will actually have effect using the index that you have picked. So we are looking at index 0. Index 0 is 1. It came here and then we passed it. So you pass it to this. But you don't need to send it to it. How are you going to send it to it? Do what? Nums index or what? No. You don't have to. This is specifically for arrays. You and I know that if it is any ordinary function, you have to pass the value to it. But with arrays, the very moment you use the for each, it understands what you have done. So simply, when you put the value here like this, it understands that it's now picking. Oh, it can be anything. You know, this is just a variable. It can be anything. So when I just put value. Hey, and is that even how to spell value? Is that how to spell value? No. Hey, sorry. So value plus 2. That's it. So it will just, please, who is not clear here before we end the class? Who is not clear here? If you are not clear, just say something. Eric, I believe this is clear to you.
Yeah.
Daniel, clear?
Yeah.
La Chris, Kelangutu. Are you Kelangutu DSM? And I'm well.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good. So that is that about the for each on arrays. Please play around it. Be playing around arrays. Tomorrow, probably you look at the destructuring and mapping in arrays and all that. Mapping in arrays. Crazy, did you attend the training I did in through Sketchware, the Sketchware training? You didn't come.
No.
Yeah, you didn't come. Yeah, I did that. The inside the Sketchware training, I actually showed how you can do this mapping. Nice stuff. Ghana had it. Something people pay huge amounts of money for. You do it for free. They don't want to come. That's why I asked for straight Rudy. I don't want to waste my time on anybody there to teach or to train them. They are not serious. They are looking for Sakawa money. Okay, so guys, that will be all for today. Tomorrow you look at the destructuring, look at probably destructuring and mapping, because they are also kind of some tricky areas. But for the other extensions, please do play around it. Do play around it in the course of the day. And please, the link I sent to the platform, kindly try if you have time. If you have time, as for Eric, I know Eric won't get time to do it, like to look at it or probably to even engage himself when the whole thing starts. But actually, I know of people who have stopped working because of that particular thing. Like they do it alongside some of these things that we do. They do it now, do it full time. They do it full time. So please try to look at it. It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. All right. Anyone with any final words for those?
Okay. I'll give you a call during my lunchtime, which is 12 p.m.
Okay.
It's 6 o'clock your time, so
6
p.m.
which is
around.
6 p.m. our time. Okay.
Yeah. I'll call you.
All right.
Okay.
Sir.
All right. Thanks, man.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks too.
Bye.
Okay. You have a nice day, everyone.
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.